Collectors Club with Bryce and Michael. I know a ghost story or two. Let's do this.
Hey, everybody! Hello! Hello! Welcome to Bigfoot Collectors Club live in Los Angeles here at the Bigfoot Lodge in Atwater Village. Thank you. If you came in wandering around looking for karaoke and discover three straight white men arguing about the legitimacy of gnomes, don't worry, you are in the right place. It's just the wrong time. Karaoke will be on at 10:30 as usual, or 10 o'clock. So if you don't know, we are a podcast where we cover Bigfoot and UFOs and paranormal stories. We talk to amazing guests about their personal paranormal histories and share stories of high strangeness. And tonight, here in Los Angeles, is a very special night because not only is it our first live show here in LA, we're also here to honor the premiere of last night's episode of Expedition Bigfoot on the Travel Channel, which is hosted by a very special boy with a big dream and a quest to find Sasquatch in less than 3 weeks. So speaking of hosts, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Michael McMillan. With me always is your other host and the man of the hour, Mr. Bryce Johnson. Get up here. You actually have to walk up on stage when I call you, Bryce.
I'm recording you.
Well, that's very nice. Yeah, get over here. Sit down.
Right, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bryce Johnson.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Co-host of Bigfoot Collectors Club and star of Expedition Bigfoot.
Can you believe it?
On the Travel Channel. And with us always, of course, is our super producer,
Riley Bray.
Yeah!
All right.
So, Bryce, what the heck, dude? You are... we started this podcast 2 years ago here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And now you are actually hunting for Bigfoot?
I know. Isn't that crazy, dude? I was just talking to Adela and Dylan, Mystic Dylan and Adela here.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show.
Adela Levine and Mystic Dylan are here tonight in the audience.
I was like, I have somehow manifested a lot of Bigfoot in my life. Maybe too much, but here I am. And about a year ago, I was approached by the Travel Channel, and they were wondering if I'd be interested in getting involved in a Bigfoot type show. And I said, hell yeah. And we tossed around some ideas, and a year later,
you called up your buddy Michael, and you're hey, I have some idea, right?
I wish I could have. Unfortunately, I had to be so mum about it.
That's
because
fine. I'm going to create a show for Animal Planet called Vacation Loch Ness Monster, and
I know, man. I'll bring you on next season.
Look, I'm thrilled. I watched the episode last night. All of you here are going to get to watch it tonight. It's fantastic. Bryce, you're amazing in it.
Thank you.
I knew I picked a great co-host when I found one.
You really did. You got the right guy.
And now I'm going to burn you to the ground like All About Eve. But before we get started, I want to let everybody know that after we watch the episode, we're going to have some surprise guests, special people come up. We're going to have a little live podcast like we're doing now. But also, towards the end of tonight's program, if any of you out there have a ghost story, a UFO encounter, a Bigfoot encounter, we want to hear it. We call those the L files, the listener files on our show. So think about it now.
That's right.
Don't get super wasted. Little drunk's cool.
A little wasted.
Little wasted. Keep it, around 2 minutes. But we definitely want to hear it. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
What is this, Bryce?
What's with the hula hoop there, buddy?
Oh, Bryce, this isn't a hula hoop. You, of all people, should know that when there's a glowing round object in our midst, it's not a hula hoop, but a portal.
Of course it is.
A portal to another dimension, because tonight we're here at the Bigfoot Lodge, which is sitting on 2 ley lines in Atwater Village. This place is a mystical tavern where anything can pass through. So be prepared out there.
Great.
All right, so we're going to watch Expedition Bigfoot, but before we do, we have some...
BCC news!
So tonight's story Thank you. I've been wanting applause for that for a long time.
Yeah.
So tonight's story comes from... that's weird. I'm getting a little strange interference here. Tonight's story is from a... gosh, it's so... My hand is tingling. Wait a minute.
Maybe something's coming through the portal, buddy.
What? Wait a minute. Let me take a look.
Getting strange vibes.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, I see a creature emerging from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's the actor, Scott Michael Foster.
Wow.
Whoa, ouch. That hurts
Buddy,
to come through there.
Where were you?
I don't know, but that really hurt. I can't believe how bad that hurt.
We should have got a photograph of that. That was incredible.
I know. My gosh.
It's so hard to get photos of these things.
This is like, this has
feel
become
nauseous.
our own Skinwalker Ranch right here at the Bigfoot Lodge.
Wow. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Scott.
Yes,
Thanks for...
thank you for applauding for that hello.
Great catchphrase. So we do a segment on the show. It's called BCC News, and that's when we catch up from a weird story from the past week. And this one comes to us from a listener on Instagram who sent us a story. This is from UFO Clearinghouse, and it came from a Fortean website. This is called Trucker Reports 7-foot-tall person with wings near O'Hare International Airport.
Heard about
So an
this.
angel?
I was about
An angel, right?
I was about to ask you, Scott, when you hear person with wings, what do you immediately picture?
That was my first thought is angels. Tall, strapping, gorgeous angel.
Oh.
I don't know why he's gorgeous, but he's
angels are very homoerotic.
One man's angel is another man's Mothman.
Oh,
Wow.
good point.
Really?
Sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's dive into the story. So, Manuel Navarrete of UFO Clearinghouse received a report recently from a man who said he was standing outside of a cargo dock at O'Hare. That's where you pick up most of your angels, isn't it?
You're reading the book of my life right
Yeah.
now.
It can happen anywhere.
In Chicago, when he spotted a 7-foot-tall person with wings. First of all, not super descriptive. It was just a person with wings.
You'd think that would set a precedent, like a moment in this person's life to take a bunch of details of this thing.
Yeah.
All he could remember was it was tall and it had wings.
It's
that
a
was
person
it?
Wasn't
with
there
wings.
a drawing of it? I mean, didn't it have a sketching?
No, it didn't. That was a sketch that somebody pulled from some clips. But
It's a good sketch.
we're going to get to the bottom of why this eyewitness is not apt to talk about it too much. So it was just outside of fence by the parking lot. And the sighting reportedly took place approximately at 6:30 p.m. on November 26th. We're talking just a week and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's
Okay,
amazing.
recent.
So according to the report, Riley,
Yes.
is there any way to give us spooky music during this story?
Oh, sure.
Why don't you give us a little high strangeness vibes for this?
For every episode, Riley, our super producer, live scores our stories of high strangeness. Watch him work in person.
So this is the eyewitness report. I was at the airport picking up a load of Nippon Cargo Airlines. I don't know what that is. I just read what they give me. And who
Means
they
Japan.
are, it's just me.
This could
Nippon.
be an important detail
I
of the
don't know.
story.
Japanese airline.
Okay,
thanks.
Japanese
Thanks.
airline.
That's
Got
why
it.
we
No
have
worries.
Riley on the
That's
show.
why I'm here.
I was already backed into a dock and was standing away from the truck smoking a cigarette while they loaded my truck. I was looking towards the runways in the direction of the tunnel, and that is when I noticed something that looked like a large bird standing just outside the fence by the parking lot. All right, let's walk this back a minute. A moment ago, you said it was a person with wings. Now it's just a bird?
This person.
Yeah. large
I'm
bird.
saying to this guy.
Yeah.
7-foot tall bird.
Wait, no, he first thought it was a bird, and then
Okay.
I mean, 'cause I'm guessing he gets to the point where it's a person.
He says it looks like a person with wings that were
Okay.
stretched out and flapping. I was walking away from the fence towards the open field, and then it began to flap its wings and disappeared. So the Navarrete spoke to the witness over the phone. He said, I spoke with the witness via phone and was able to get a little more information regarding the sighting. The witness primarily speaks Spanish, but was able to give the report of this sighting with the help of his daughter and her boyfriend. And she said he was standing away from the truck as it was being loaded, smoking a cigarette. Okay, we know that. He stated that the creature was about 7 feet tall, using the fence as a point of reference. She says, when I asked him how he was able to be so certain as to the height of this being, the driver stated that he has been in this location multiple times and estimates that the fence is about 8 feet high. A lot of fence in this story so far.
That's
This
like
guy
those
knows fences.
Yeah, it's like that thing above a restaurant at the exit door. It's a has the height measurement.
Yes, all fences have a cryptid measuring.
That's in case someone
Like when-
robs your place
When
they
you're leaving a
leave.
7-Eleven and it has the height right next
That's
to it.
exactly right.
in case Bigfoot robs your Circle K.
Or an angel.
So he said that the wingspan was up to about 7 feet wide and 6 feet across, and the wings were black.
Yeah, that's no bird.
That's not an angel
That sounds
either.
very Mothman. So when I asked him to describe the being, he said it looked like a demonio, a demon, or a duende, a goblin that was solid black. The witness said that he saw nothing that looked like eyes, and he assumed the creature might have had his back turned to him. He stated that it walked with the gait like a bird and that it was flapping its wings as it walked towards the large field that is by the runways and disappeared into the night. The witness did state that when it disappeared, he quickly did the sign of the cross and asked Virgin Mary for protection. He put out his cigarette and quickly walked back to his truck. When I asked him why he did that, he stated that he felt a presence that was evil. And he was convinced that he had seen a demon. When asked to elaborate on this statement, the witness refused to talk about it anymore for the fear of it coming back.
Wow. There you go.
I just like the idea of him just continually smoking the cigarette while watching this, and then being like, "No, I'm done."
I like
out.
to
Back
cut
to
it.
work.
It's just one long ash.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it could be that, right?
And
Yeah.
then he's like, "Ugh!" and it burns him on the knuckles.
Sure.
So far from angelic, actually, Scott.
Yeah, no, more of a black winged, life size, like human sized bat type looking thing.
Yeah, it's very odd. What do you
Very
think
odd.
about this?
Well, I wouldn't be so concerned if there hadn't been a string of sightings of the Mothman creature in the Chicago area over the last 2 years. This isn't just the first one. There's been there's been a book written on the subject of Mothman's return in Chicago.
Yeah, there's also a blog about it that
Yeah.
I've gone to, and there's a lot of confused truckers out there.
Yeah, I guess the question is
It's true.
is there truth to this return, and why Chicago?
So you hear something about this, Scott.
Yeah.
I present this story to you. Do you think bird, bat, squatch, demon, or angel?
Bat squatch.
Those are your only options.
Those are my only options.
I don't know.
Wisely.
Is this an interdimensional being, or is this something here terrestrial that we just haven't discovered yet? Or is
You know me. I mean, I tend to go first with what was in the cigarette. Was he smoking a little wacky tobacco? You know, optical illusions. Was it just a giant crow? Because sometimes I see birds on a fence and I'm like, that's a big fucking bird.
that's a big crow.
It's a big ass crow. I don't know. You know, who knows? Or, you know, could it be something that we don't know? Yes, of course. But in my first instinct is always, what did this guy actually see that made him believe it was this giant 7-foot winged demonic creature? That's what I want to know.
Enough so to report it to the
Yeah.
newspaper.
Yeah,
So
he got freaked out.
yeah.
Also, Bryce. Also, we should use the term newspaper lightly, I think. But Bryce, just saying, Bryce.
You mean he was in the paper?
Yeah,
That's
but Bryce, Riley, what's that?
No, nothing. Just doing my newspaper voice.
Yeah, and I have to say, I've smoked a lot of marijuana, and
Sure,
I've
same.
never seen anything.
I smoke marijuana to see stuff, and it has
doesn't
not
work
worked
that
yet.
way.
He could have been smoking PCP, let's be honest. Anyway, go ahead.
Bryce, the other thing that we talk about a lot on the show, that sometimes your own perception of reality can influence what you see.
Yeah.
This guy's clearly a very religious guy, and he interpreted this being as a demon.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it may be whether he has a sort of religious upbringing or not. He obviously saw some goblin-like creature. That's pretty descriptive, as apart from what a demon could be. I mean, this matches some of those old descriptions of.
Well, I think if you are.
Except the red eyes. He didn't.
He didn't see the red eyes, but he said his back might be turned to him.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
But I also think if you grow up with a religion and you get stories of like demons and, you
Yeah.
know, that's already in your brain. So
Right.
whatever he sees, he might be putting that childhood story of demons and
Or
whatever in.
Is it picking up on that part of his psyche and manifesting as something that looks
So you
demonic.
think it knows who's watching?
There might be some user interaction here in some of these encounters, is what I'm saying.
Or that might be exactly what he saw.
The guy, what's his name?
Well, the witness was unnamed. He didn't want to go on record.
Okay. He didn't speak English, though?
He did not. He spoke very little English.
Okay. I was just trying to say that this winged creature was like, oh, we'll call him Steven. Steven's watching me. He's a religious man. I'm going to appear to him as a dark winged demon. That way he'll know or think I'm this.
Yeah, that's we've talked a lot about this. The phenomenon seems to be, like Michael said, user interactive. So it can actually materialize, coming through your own filter, using your perceptions as a filter.
Does that work if one person's watching or if 20 people are watching?
No, for like mass sightings, like the
Miracle
Ariel,
of Fatima?
Yeah, the Miracle of Fatima or the Ariel school incident. There was a UFO craft that landed in Ariel children's school in South Africa.
Right.
All the kids saw it. About 60 children saw it. Unfortunately, no adults. I don't know where the hell they were, but all the kids.
You know where they were? Smoking cigarettes.
They were smoking cigarettes.
Out by that fence.
They were smoking BCP. But they all reported different things. All the kids did. Some even described one entity. Some described two beings, and they
saw different things.
They all saw different things, which sort of leads you down the conclusion that each user sort of interprets it differently through their perception. Very strange.
Interesting.
Final thoughts? Bullshit or believe it, Scott Michael Foster?
Are those my options?
Yeah, bullshit or believe it.
I'll say bullshit, just because I've been scared enough to think I'm seeing something, and then the minute I sort of get a grip of myself, I realize that I'm actually seeing something real, not what my mind is telling me I'm seeing. Right. So, but I am the skeptic in this scenario. So I say bullshit. I'm not saying he doesn't believe he saw what he saw. That I believe, but I don't necessarily think that he saw a 7-foot winged demon.
All right. Well,
interesting. Well, something is strange is happening in Chicago. Are you familiar with the Chicago O'Hare UFO?
Yes.
That appeared above Terminal 4? Yeah.
It's a story that we do not have time for
No,
tonight.
I know. Well, we'll save that for another day.
Yes, because there's something lurking deep within the Oregon woods.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
we have to go find.
And I got to change my
Oh my gosh! The portal's sucking Scott Michael Foster back into it's Golden Ma. Thank you, everyone. Scott Michael Foster. Thank you, Scott, for joining us.
Wonderful.
Okay, everybody, we're going to take a look. We're going to watch the first episode of Expedition Bigfoot, starring my good friend right here. And in about approximately 42 minutes, we'll be right back here on stage. Enjoy the show, get a drink, hang out, meet a friend, and we'll see you right after Expedition Bigfoot.
All right, enjoy the show. All right.
Bigfoot, everybody! Whoa! I cannot. Bryce, get up here.
Come up here.
Dude,
Bryce.
ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Johnson!
Oh, man.
I didn't forget your last name, but I did forget your middle initial for a second.
That's all right. Thanks,
Is it O or
guys.
M?
Oh, Owen.
That's what I thought, but I almost said M. Dude, I am so proud of you and so excited for
Yeah,
you.
buddy.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
When you told us about this project, I think I cried.
I swear, I was
I
like,
know you cried.
I was like I was so scared to tell you guys because we had started this podcast 2 years ago, and then I did this show. This show started about a year ago. I was like, I just remember thinking, like, sick to my stomach, like, God, how do I tell Mike and Riley? They're going to be so pissed.
Why would we be
I know.
pissed?
But I just was like, because I was like, I felt like I was like breaking up the
Stabbing us in
band.
the back?
Yeah, like going solo or something. But,
This is your yesterday?
Your
Yeah.
very successful solo record. It's all right.
but you guys were nothing but supportive. And,
Oh man, we're so
and loving,
excited, man!
so
I'm so proud of you. I watched the
appreciated
show
that.
last night at home. I think it's great. I could tell everyone watching was completely riveted. Hey guys, this is Michael cutting into our live show. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, we can't air the entire episode as it was recorded live at the Bigfoot Lodge. It's out of our control. I wish I could tell you why. I can't. It's all good. It's a little top secret. Maybe we divulged a little too much information. I guess you should have been there. Instead, and because we don't want to cheat you out of an episode, we are going to talk to Bryce about Expedition Bigfoot. So here is an interview that we did with Bryce over on the other side last month. We're going to talk to him about the series Expedition Bigfoot, and then we're going to jump back into the live show, which, I wish you could have been there and you could have heard what we heard, but we can't share it. It's fine. It's okay. Everyone's cool. It's cool. Just come to the live show next time, and then you'll get to hear top secret information. Right, Riley?
That's right, Michael.
Right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So here's Bryce. Then we'll cut back to our live show at the Bigfoot Lodge in Los Angeles. Okay, guys. Big news this week in the world of Bigfoot Collectors Club. Special announcement, special little bonus moment with your old pals. Michael McMillan, your other pal,
Bryce Johnson.
and your other pal,
Riley Bray.
So, Bryce, the time has come when you can finally tell us what your top secret project is.
Oh shit! Cue the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch music. Just kidding.
I got nothing.
No, yeah, that's not the right music anyway.
This is the most excited I've ever been, and the least excited Riley's ever been.
I don't believe that.
He's hungry.
He's hungry.
So what's up, dude? Tell us what you've been working on.
I have been working on a show for the Travel Channel called Expedition Bigfoot, and I am leading a team of elite researchers and investigators to find and document conclusive proof for the existence of Bigfoot.
Dude,
Mission successful.
this is insane.
We gotta get you a flight suit.
Okay, first of all, I have a couple questions.
Yes.
One, how did this come about?
So this came about. A good friend of mine he runs a company called Rail Splitter Pictures, and I think I can tell this story. He was approached by what I now know as the Travel Channel. They were looking to get into the Bigfoot space.
Travel Channel, haven't they done Bigfoot stuff, or is that Discovery?
That I'm not sure. I know Discovery has. Look,
Okay.
there's been a lot of, sort of one-off programming as far as Bigfoot documentaries and stuff go. And the last sort of episodic that really tackled the Bigfoot phenomena was, was Finding Bigfoot on Animal Planet.
Animal Planet, that's what it was.
Yes.
Okay.
So they were looking to get into the Bigfoot space, and he said, I know you did that movie with Bobcat. I know you're a big believer in all things Bigfoot, and you have the podcast. He's like, I was wondering if I could throw your name in the ring as a possible host. And I said, fuck yeah.
Dude.
And that's how it really all got started. And so this got started about a year or so ago.
God.
And then from that, there was a little process of creating a sizzle. And
So you knew about this a year ago, and you didn't tell us until it was...
because it was all unfolding, and you know how things are in Hollywood. Nothing's concrete until it's already on the air.
Man, I would not have been able to sit on that. I cannot believe that you didn't
It was
tell
tough,
us
especially for what we do
long.
here. I mean, it's like it's a direct correlation of the things I'm passionate about.
I would have totally been like, guys, I might be doing this thing.
Yeah, so the project got greenlit at the beginning of the year, picked up for 8 one-hour episodes, location to be determined. And the real pitch of this show was that we were going to be using the latest technology as well as data science to figure out when and where was the next likely place that Bigfoot would show up. So we hired an expert data analyst to go ahead and log and put through an algorithm all these sightings that took place within the last 15 years, which were in the realm of hundreds, if not thousands. And he was able to he was basically able to eliminate that down to 2 to 3 potential real hot spots for when and where Bigfoot was likely to show up.
And are we talking about in the world, or are we talking in North America?
We eliminated this just to North America.
Okay.
So, and we ended up with a hot spot in Central Oregon, which sits on the perimeter of the Ochoco National Forest.
Dude.
So yes, this is a very...
That's prime Squatchville.
It is prime Squatchville. And this is sort of high desert terrain surrounded by dense timber areas. So and there's not a lot of human traffic. And we were on just this acreage of plot of land of about 42,000 acres of just pristine forest and high desert
So
tundra.
you were actually out in these woods.
Yeah, absolutely, I was. And then, so my role served as sort of the operational leader. In other words, I helped sort of put together this team of researchers.
You were the Nick Fury.
Yeah, I know it's hard to believe because I'm, in a sense, I'm like out of my element, but in another sense, I'm just.
This is your element.
What are you
I'm
talking
the
about?
most
Out of your
Bryce thing
element.
I've ever heard in my life.
It's true. And then in another sense, I'm right where I need to be. But listen, I'm working with a Fulbright scholar, primatologist, who is the real deal. Her name is Dr. Maria Mayer. She was former Miami cheerleader, and she's a Fulbright scholar, primatologist, anthropologist. She's discovered the world's smallest primate in Madagascar.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
She is the coolest and the most just down-to-earth, intelligent person.
Now, I know you can't spoil anything about the
I
show.
can give
but,
away some.
Well,
some
is
some
she
shit.
coming into this process as a skeptic, a believer?
Sure.
Is she open-minded? Where's
Well,
she
I
at
think
coming into this?
She kind of used the term agnostic skeptic. In other
Right.
words, she is more than willing to look at any evidence that we come across. And let me tell you something. We came across an incredible evidence package. And what I mean by that
I
is
bet you did.
there is like 4 or 5 things that really sort of confounded her. And by the end of this expedition, she came away going, Bryce, I don't know what to think, but there is something to
Well,
this.
when you're staring eye to eye with a real life Bigfoot, right?
Oh my God.
Then you're gonna question,
Yeah,
right?
and listen, most I think what sets apart our expedition from other investigations or other things like this is I likened this to a mini habituation. In other words, we were out in the field, not me specifically, but my team members were out in the field for almost 4 weeks, which is an incredible amount of time. So this wasn't just weekend warrior stuff. This wasn't just like a Friday to Monday. We had set up a base camp and surrounded that perimeter and moved beyond it for 3 to 4 weeks.
And you guys are using some high tech as well in this,
The
right?
tech in this is unparalleled to any other
'Cause
investigation run, Bigfoot, ghost, UFO, or otherwise.
Okay.
I mean, we were using cutting edge prototype technology,
Which is what, like a drone
well,
or
just
infrared goggles, like
all
what?
that stuff. We were using thermals. We were using FLIRs, which stands for forward-leaning infrared. We were, just to give you an example, we contracted this outfit out of Maryland, and they specialize in something called sound localization, and they handle a lot of contracts for the military, and they were able to develop this prototype technology. We ended up calling them the dragon eggs because one of the well, not to give too much away, but one of the engineer's daughter, when he brought it home, it's this special microphone package that is capable of trilocating and pinpointing sound localizations through GPS, and also super sensitive microphone packages. But his daughter was like, "This looks like this looks like a dragon egg," and so they were coined from that point on as dragon eggs.
That's
which
cool.
I thought was super cool.
Got to get one of those for the studio.
Yeah.
Did you fly in a helicopter?
Did we find a helicopter?
Did you fly in a helicopter?
No, I didn't fly in a helicopter.
Did you fly in an drive around in an all-terrain vehicle?
Which, yes, I did. I drove. We used ATVs and side squads to get around the place, and let me just tell you a little bit more about our team members. So we also have a guy whose name is Russell Acord. He's an ex-military survivalist, and he's really good friends with Bob Gimlin, who might or might not make a special appearance on our show.
Sweet. Gimlin of the Patterson Gimlin.
Bob Gimlin of the famous 1967 Patterson Gimlin footage, the holy grail of Bigfoot videos. And he has an incredible knowledge of the woods and hunting and survivalism. And not only that, he's been tracking Bigfoot for the last 20 years.
Dude.
And we also have another team member. I'm not sure too much about what I can say is because there's some things that happen. So
there's some reveals.
There's some reveals I don't want to give away.
Yeah, this already is a great starting point for the season.
But let me tell you this, both looking into your eyes and being totally upfront and honest, we came across some evidence, not just one or two pieces, but probably about 4 or 5 different pieces of evidence that are really detrimental, I think, to helping prove the existence of Bigfoot.
Detrimental?
They're probably not the right choice of words.
Detrimental means not helpful.
No, well, then it's not detrimental.
Undetrimental.
Undetrimental. You're right. Not the right use of word, but no, we came across some incredible things, and we talked to some incredible people, and I got to interview some incredible witnesses.
This is so exciting.
It was,
dude. We're so
the opportunity of a lifetime, and I had a great time doing it. And I'm really excited for people to see it.
Because you just kind of finished up on this very recently here.
Yeah, I just had we pretty much are just we're in the editing process now, and putting everything together. But yeah, the expedition part of it is over.
Are you? How did walking into this as someone who is, I would say, a proponent, if not believer, but a proponent of the...
You can say believer.
of the interdimensional Bigfoot theory.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff that, I think our very first conversation about Bigfoot, we jumped right to that.
No doubt about it.
Coming in with that, how did this sounds like a very grounded real world exposition. So how did that affect your approach coming into this project?
Well, it's a great question because right off the bat, this show was sold as using high technology and very, very science based, and like you said, grounded in hard science. And I was very specific to be upfront about my beliefs of what I've come to call the stranger aspects of Bigfootery. In other words, there's a lot of cases that have these sort of strange things that are reported and witnessed. And I didn't want to exclude from our investigation any of sort of...
This is so insane that you did this show.
It really is.
So crazy.
It really is. And so I didn't want to, I just was kind of upfront that hey, I'm very open to a lot of the different ideas about Bigfoot. I'm happy to search for this thing on a flesh and blood basis, but I don't want to... cherry pick the data. If we come across the strange and unknown, I want us to talk about it. And let me tell you something, we did.
Wow. So walking away from this, is your attitude towards Bigfoot, has it changed at all? And if so, how?
I would say it's pretty much I was right all along. I was just kidding, but I'm not. I would, a lot of
because I remember one point in the summer, in the middle of shooting this, I can't remember specifically what episode we were recording. It might have been the Ape Canyon episode.
Right.
You were kind of like, I don't know, I think maybe we're dealing with a biological creature here. Like, for the first time I've ever heard you be like,
yeah,
might be a primate,
it's hard not to think this thing is biological when it leaves biological evidence, right? Just like the UFO phenomena.
Well, I'd say indigenous to this reality, at least.
Well, that's a whole nother piece of pie, right? So it's the same thing as with this UFO phenomena. Sure, we have these strange metal alloys that seem to be, sort of confusing and confounding our scientists, and at the same thing exists with Bigfoot. It's like we have these evidence that's left behind that is biological in nature, hairs, scat. Also, something is making these footprints and trackways, but at the same time, there's a whole other sort of package of evidence that says, well, these things are also, moving in and out of this world, perhaps. I mean, you can't discount some of the eyewitness testimony and then just some of the stranger aspects of Bigfootery.
So speaking of strange, you were reading a lot of John Keel's works this past summer, Strange Creatures from Time and Space, The Eighth Tower. How did that affect, if at all, your approach to basically doing your own, for lack of a better term, paranormal investigation.
Yeah, no, totally. So I tried to really just stick with to and focus on Bigfoot and the evidence that he or she was leaving behind. So I really, tried to just stay focused on the investigation at hand and not work too far outside of the boundaries. So if something came our way, then that's where I put my attention. And yeah, but at the end, it sort of makes a composite picture that something very strange is happening.
Did you get to speak to any eyewitnesses out there? Were there people with stories that you...
I spoke to eyewitnesses who haven't come forward with their story their entire lives.
Oh, that's the gravy
so,
right there.
it is as much as I loved like speaking with experts and having this evidence analyzed by experts. I've always been, and you guys know this, I've always been passionate and a fan of championing the anecdotal evidence that comes from eyewitness testimony. And so when I speak to these people, when you hear their story, you can't help but to feel it reverberate through your body and soul. You just know that what they're telling you, what they're telling me is their truth.
And did you see that impact on the other people on the team?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Whenever I heard a witness's story, I would relay that back to the team members in the field as hey, look out for this or be aware of that, because it could influence their investigation going forward.
Dude.
Yeah.
So wild. Are you super excited?
I am so excited just because, listen, I've never stepped outside of the scripted environment. In other words, I've been a film and television actor for 20 years. I've never done quote-unquote reality television or non-scripted television. So there was a learning curve for me, but I'd like to think that I overcame and adapted to that.
Got a little taste of that doing Willow Creek because some of those interviews in and around Willow Creek were real.
Yeah, no, oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. There was just... There's the thing in non-scripted TV where we called them OTFs, which were on-the-fly interviews, and you would have to like recap or recount someone's testimony or sum up an expert witness's analysis. And, I didn't want to I just wanted to sound intelligible on the subject.
You're like, this guy's eyewitness account is detrimental to this investigation. You're like, no, Bryce.
Point in case. Exactly. You know what I mean? So there was really
it's
really had
instrumental to the investigation.
Yes. So I was very aware of how I spoke and what I was speaking. And that was the learning curve. But other than that, I was like, this is an opportunity that only comes around once in a lifetime, and it's a subject I'm absolutely passionate about.
Dude,
so I would be crazy not to jump on this and
you
have
got
this
to
experience.
go on a Bigfoot expedition.
It's a dream come true. So,
and just being out in nature, it must have been just alone must have been.
Oh my God, it was wild. It was absolutely wild.
Do you see once you're actually out there and looking I'm assuming you're in deep woods out there.
Yeah.
I would imagine when you're in that mindset and you're thinking about, even if this isn't an extra dimensional or interdimensional, hyperdimensional entity, you think those woods are big enough to hide something like this?
Abso-fucking-lutely. All one needs to do is fly over the Pacific Northwest in an airplane and take a purview from 30,000 feet up, and you can see just like... I think it was the FAC reported some 50-plus airplanes that have gone missing in the Sequoia and Yellowstone National Forests within the last 50 years, unfound, undiscovered. And these are after search teams have went in and looked for these planes. So these forests have the ability to swallow things whole. So if something that had super senses, acute sight, acute hearing, wanted to stay away from the human population, it would have no problem doing it. I mean, just being out there and like seeing wildlife is rare, and trying to capture, evidence of wildlife is not easy to do. Aim a camera through a bevy of trees and it's going to be... it's
a wall.
Hard. It's a wall. You can't
literally
see the
have
forest through the
multiple
trees.
obstructions. Yeah, exactly. You have multiple obstructions in your sight line at all times.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this. before we go, what is the one, like, is there like a fun tease or one little takeaway that you're super excited about that you don't want to spoil, but you're like, oh, get ready for something that happens or something that you discovered that you were super excited about?
I'll just tell you very bluntly, what we were seeking, we found.
Yeah! All right.
Hey guys, Riley jumping back in again. So there you have it. That's a sample from our Patreon, The Other Side. When we first announced Bryce's show, we wanted to give our Patreon subscribers the very first information on that. So anyways, we couldn't be more excited about Expedition Bigfoot and everything that Bryce is up to. It's really cool. Anyways, sorry we had to redact some of the live show. The reasons are beyond our control, and I can't even tell you what they are. So, such is life. If you were there, you know. But don't fret. We do have more live shows coming up in 2020. So, although you may have missed this one, there is more to come, and they're a lot of fun. We really enjoy meeting you guys directly and doing a show in person. So look out for more live shows in 2020. They are coming. And in the meantime, we're going to jump back into the live episode. So enjoy the rest of our live show from the Bigfoot Lodge.
Oh, whoa. What is that weird vibrational?
A tingle?
What is that tingle?
You feel it's probably the
What is
portal.
something past the
Something's
portal
opening.
over? Something's happening. Okay, wait a minute.
This is not my daughter's hula hoop.
Wait, no. Oh, boy. All right. I'm peering through the portal. I'm seeing a very tall vision emerging from the back of the ether realm. Oh, my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, it's actor ERINN from Children's Hospital and Medical Detectives.
Wow.
Medical police.
Police, sorry, shit.
But
Sorry.
I'm pitching that for season 2.
My
That or cop
fault.
doctors. We'll see.
You came through that portal
this
beautifully.
This seat is slippery.
may
That's
I
probably
say.
the portal.
It's portal juice.
Yes.
So I put
You know they gotta grease
portal
those
juice
portals
all
to
over
get
this
those
place.
creatures in and out. ERINN, what did you think about Expedition Bigfoot?
I thought it was fantastic. I'm all in.
All
I
right.
am all in. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I was telling Riley this as we were watching it.
Yeah.
I just want somebody at some point in the season to go look in the woods and go, "Where are you, you big, beautiful bastard?" Does anybody do that?
We might have to add that in post.
Reshoot.
I'll do it.
And because we're a crowd, and then we tried this once, people were like, well, do you believe it? So if you believe it, you're going to applaud and cheer. If it's bullshit, nothing. Just don't give it any applause, all right? So I'm going to hand it over to, you know how to cue them up, right?
Yeah.
The top. Here we go.
What?
ERINN Hayes, take us.
All right. Are you ready for bullshit or believe it?
Woo!
Ready, set, ghosts. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of people. UFOs. Bigfoot. Oh, there's a lot of believe it. There's a lot of believe it. Little gray aliens. Are there big gray aliens?
Sure.
Sure, of course. Out of body experiences. It's not as much. Demonic possession.
I love a yes for demonic
That's
possession.
a lot of bullshit in the house. The Bermuda Triangle.
All right.
Oh. You should go through it with booze too. Alien abductions.
Yep.
Loch Ness Monster. Time travel. Oh,
Hey,
there's
if you
like
want people
one
to boo,
person.
you can boo.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
this
boo
is-
if
this
you
is
like
your
really
show.
feel strongly against it. Mothman. No. Reincarnation. Oh, I am so clapping for that one. ESP. Oh, haunted houses. Where are my ghost people at? The Illuminati. Oh, they can't say. They
don't
can't
wanna
say
say,
because they're in it.
That's right. That's how it
Bullshit, I
works.
believe it. There's a face on Mars. Nope, not even a one. You got one sad woo.
It's the guy whose face is on Mars.
on Mars.
Hey!
Okay, bullshit or believe it, skunk ape. Oh,
All right.
strong.
Fans of the skunk ape.
Good.
Heaven.
Not in Silver Lake.
You guys,
The
more
godless
people in
heathens
this
of Los
room
Angeles.
believe in the skunk ape than do with heaven. Okay, well then, on the contrary, hell. No, boo.
All right.
Sea serpents. Sea serpents. Poltergeists. El chupacabra. Oh, some of them. Atlanta. No, sorry, Atlantis. And
Bullshit.
anybody didn't get enough Emmys. Atlantis. Life on other planets. Yes. Parallel dimensions. The apocalypse. Nope, not even a one. And last one, bullshit or believe it, life after death.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Not bad. That
crowd's
was
real
great.
is all over the place.
Unpack it. What do you think? What struck you,
stuff.
Aaron?
Just that, like, that yes, there could be a skunk ape, but like all of major religions are wrong. that strikes me as like a bit bananas,
Bit of a red flag.
bit of a red flag.
I just
And
like
someone
picturing.
needs to tell the Hallmark Channel that they're way off base.
I just like picturing the person that walked in just for a drink in the middle of that and
Yeah,
was
like-
so confused.
Skunk
Now,
apes for
now
yeah.
I'm picturing the Hallmark movie, A Skunk Ape for Christmas.
In Atlanta.
I changed the list to little gray aliens because every time I say gray aliens or alien grays, people go, huh? Because it sounds like aliens are grazing on something like gray. I don't know.
Oh, right,
so I
right.
went little
Grazing aliens.
little gray aliens. That was a suggestion.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, nice work.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Atlanta is it's a great show and a great city, and a lot of people believe in it, which is great. You can just buy a ticket today.
Anyone here from Atlanta? Well, thank you very much, Aaron
Thank
Hayes.
you for having me.
Thanks for
I'm going to slide out on the
right, yeah.
slipperies of the
sign out on that interdimensional grease. Okay, Aaron Hayes, what a friend of the show.
Seriously.
Really operating beneath her
Yeah.
level of talent and expertise to come out here and do that tonight. That's so
It means a lot.
insane.
It does.
Boy, oh boy. Okay, speaking of which, guys, it's time to share your L files. Is there anybody out there who has a story of a ghostly encounter or UFO, something from their family? Okay,
Okay.
I'm seeing
I
some of
see
you.
some
I got
stirrings.
2 people. Wait,
Oh, wow.
Why is that buzzing happening again?
Oh,
What is
I
that?
think
What is
that's
that?
the portal. You
I think
should know
someone's
that by
headed for the
now.
portal.
Wait, what's emerging through the portal? Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, it's friend of the show, actor, comedian Kevin Kirkpatrick.
Yeah! Woo! Look at him. Come all the way through, Ken.
L Files. Oh,
Yeah.
so daintily moving through. Kevin
Wow.
Kirkpatrick, ladies
Well
and gentlemen.
done, sir.
Kevin, you did our one of our very first L Files episodes.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have sometimes when we get letters, they're addressed to us and Kevin.
That's right.
Kevin, what was your reaction to Expedition Bigfoot?
Oh, I also am pretty riveted. Yeah. No,
Oh, good.
I'm, as you guys know, pretty skeptical.
No.
A lot. I was real quiet during that list. But yeah, I'm very Bigfoot's now really one of the things that's towards the top of my perhaps list.
We've done our work.
When you picture, this is a question that we've started to ask guests. I don't think we've asked you, Kevin. What is Bigfoot to you? Who is Bigfoot to you?
Well, I thought it was some sort of a primate that maybe is not as big as people say he is. And then now I'm starting to think maybe he's because of all this supernatural stuff that's happening. What if Bigfoots, which we need to start saying, because the reason people think it's singular is because the word is singular.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if I grew up with people saying, don't go in the woods, you might see bear, I would think there was one bear.
It's like deer, you
Right.
know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a deer, mini deer.
No, but what if aliens have Bigfoots like we have dogs?
Oh,
And we're all chasing these Bigfoots around, but what we're really about to find is that Bigfoot is just like that one that chased that mushroom girl. Like that's just somebody's dog that got off leash for a minute.
It's like the predator hounds.
Yeah. By the way, I was so ready. I really believed her. And then she's like, what do you do for a living? I gather wild mushrooms. She immediately discredits herself.
Oh, my God.
She consumes hallucinogenics for a living.
Brother, you got to spend more time in Oregon.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so who wants to come up and tell a story?
I know there's one
All
out there.
right.
Come on, don't be shy.
Yes, sir. Come on up.
Come
in
on
the
up.
hat.
All right.
You can grab the producer
There we go.
mic
Here. Yeah. Okay.
You come up here. Hold on to that producer mic.
All right.
Tell us your name, please, sir.
My name is Kurt.
And where are you from, Kurt?
I'm from Burbank.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not too far.
Bela Lugosi's ghost lives in Burbank,
That's true.
California.
That's true.
Technically Universal City, I guess.
Yeah, and last seen in Hollywood when the hearse was going down the streets.
Whoa.
There you go.
There you go. So what's your story for us?
So I live in a haunted house. I moved into this house with a girlfriend, and there was a very pervy ghost that would, every time she would go to take a shower, you could hear, like on the roof, it's a one-story house, you could hear on the roof like something walking and then knocking over the shampoo in the shower, so she would bend over to pick it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I've always lived in this house with the ghost, and I'm like, hey, it's cool. Like, go ahead and check out the girlfriend. It's fine, whatever. After we broke up, it was just me and the ghost, and apparently he had nothing to do. So one night at about 4 a.m, I have this thing called the Caribbean Amphibian Kermit. And you can look it up. It's a Kermit the Frog doll where you have to squeeze it to make it sing.
I have so many questions.
No, go for it. Go for it. It's
This is not a story to be plowed through so
That's
fast.
why I was like, I'm gonna breeze past the
Kurt,
fact that I own a Kermit
I
the
rarely
Frog.
say
but-
this. Take the scenic route, please.
Okay, sure. So Kermit the Frog, Caribbean Amphibian. So basically, every time you squeeze it, I mean, who doesn't have a Kermit the Frog at home? But when you squeeze this one, every time you squeeze it, it'll sing one word of the song. I'm a Caribbean Amphibian. You cannot make it play the song fully. You have to squeeze it for every word. That's very important. So, 4 o'clock in the morning. I've told the ghost many times, hey, just don't knock over the Star Wars action figures. You can check out the girlfriend, do whatever you got to do. But at 4 o'clock in the morning...
That's how I rank my relationship.
Exactly. I'm like, no to the Star Wars, yes to the girlfriend. So 4 o'clock in the morning, Caribbean Amphibian starts playing the full song coming from the Kermit, which cannot happen. I actually checked after the fact with the manufacturer. It cannot happen.
Oh, that's creepy.
So I'm like, nope. I get out of bed. I start pulling the batteries out of the Kermit, and it continues the song to the very end without batteries in it. Yeah. So we had a long talk, the ghost and I. I was like, look, perv all you want, but don't fucking scare me. That's not cool, man.
And don't mess with my Kermit.
Yeah, dude, not with the Kermit.
And anything since? What happened to the doll? And what happened to the ghost?
I still have the doll, and I still have the ghost. Every now and then, something will knock over, so it lets me know that it's there. But one time, I was in the spare bedroom, and I heard something in the hallway, and I'm like, okay, it's not my dog. I have a real small dog. What the hell was that? So I go in the hallway, nothing, and I look up, and you know the hatches to the attic? The hatch to the attic is up and off.
Oh, yeah, no.
Completely. So I spent about 10 minutes peeing myself, and then I put my phone with the camera on, like up, and then rotated it all the way around to make sure, because I'm not brave enough to stick my head
Oh,
through
it's like
there.
that scene in Aliens.
That's exactly what I was like. I mean, it's coming from inside the room. Yeah. So
I think there's also footage somewhere of like, wasn't there like someone who was like living in someone's attic?
yeah, that's some creepy
And like
dudes.
Yes.
two like sisters like looked up in there and they saw like a Gollum-ly looking dude like
See, that's
Dude,
what
that
I
was
expected.
real life.
in real life living it.
Yeah. So, thankfully, not that creepy Gollum-ly dude. Nothing was up there, but to this day, I don't know what caused. And there's not, some people are like, oh, it's just the pressure from the house. No, it was up and off. And you can't do that without pushing it up and pushing it off. So to this day, I always have little odd things, but we have a cool understanding. As long as it doesn't scare me that much, that often, it's fine.
Kevin,
Wow.
how would you handle this ghost?
Yeah,
If
please.
it was in your house.
But I'm not getting rid of the Kermit.
Well, I would, if I were you, I would wonder why he didn't want to peep my hole. Like,
You know what? So that's what the
offended.
girlfriend at the time
Yeah.
said. She's like, wait, maybe it happens when you're in the shower too. But you can hear like the shampoo fall off the ledge and knock down, and then she'd have to pick it up. And it's never done that. I've been there for 17 years. I'm not.
You're hearing footsteps on the roof, and then he drops through the ceiling?
Well, that's the thing.
Into the shower?
It sounds like someone's walking through the attic, but there is no attic to really walk through. And then, sadly, I told the next girl I was dating about this, and it never happened with her. And she got mad at me that the ghost wasn't perving on her in the shower.
Yeah.
That
I'm
was my
interested
fault.
in this ghost's like varying levels of supernatural because he can like make shampoo bottles go down, but he's got like one like line of sight and he's got to make her bend over. Like, and why is he using hatches? I don't understand why ghosts use doors and hatches.
If you can move through the ceiling, can't you just pop up from the bottom of the shower and check out a butt that way?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if you're
Come
gonna
up
check
from
out a butt, I mean,
This sounds like a
bend
real
over.
person was in here because I mean he's got to make her bend over so he can see stuff and he's
I can
using
promise you. I
hatches.
went in. She called me one time into the bathroom because it knocked over after I said, "Hey, I heard footsteps." And I can promise you, she was the only one in the shower. So, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a
That's
pervy.
really-
Hey, it's a pervy ghost. I
Kurt,
admitted from the beginning.
I hate to say this from one
Hey.
grown man who collects toys to another. You got to get rid of that Kermit doll, dude.
No.
Fair
You're
enough.
wrong.
All right, Kurt, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kurt.
I think we have time for one more
job.
L-Files story. Anybody out there?
Don't be
Should I
shy.
see another? Yes. Come
All
up,
right,
sir.
come on up.
Come on up. Here, take a few steps closer to the audience over here. Come this way, a little away from the bathroom. There you go. What's your name, sir?
My name's Neil.
Hello, Neil.
Hello, buddy. It's another ghost story. Old house in Liverpool, Chinatown, the oldest Chinatown in Europe.
Speak up for the people. Project. Yeah, get close and project.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay, old house in Liverpool, oldest Chinatown in Europe, and my girlfriend at the time lived there. And she was asleep on the couch. The front door leads to a long corridor, which at the end is the lounge where she was asleep. And I was in the bathroom right by the front door, which was locked, having a wee. And there'd been a few things before that to make us think it was trouble. That house was trouble. We had one of our roommates dropped off. The cab driver says, "You don't live there, do you? That house is haunted."
Oh yes.
We'd had a glass vase.
Liverpool cab drivers do not fuck with old English ghosts. So if you have one that's terrified of where you live, move.
Oh yeah, my mate lived there. It's haunted. And then we had a glass vase in the bedroom. A night I was staying over, explode. And everything that happened, we'd explain it away because I'm a bit of a cynic too. So we'd be like, okay, this glass vase is by the heater. Maybe the heater heated the room too quickly and the glass exploded. And then my girlfriend would say, I saw a woman at the end of the bed. She woke up a couple of times and saw a woman at the end of the bed. And then, of course, I'd be like, don't worry, you're half asleep and you're just coming to. And so that's dream turning into reality. And then the thing where I'm in the bathroom and she's asleep at the other end of the corridor. Do you know fire doors? Fire doors have springs in the handles. So they make a noise, they make a noise, and they take pressure to move
I don't
them.
think we have those here, do we?
Well, it's a door handle with a spring in
Oh,
it. So
okay.
you take your finger and it's like a lever and you press it down and it'll point back up when you take your hand off it. So it takes force.
Oh, okay.
So the door's behind me as I am urinating. Sorry about the fact I'm urinating.
You
in
keep
this door.
bringing it up.
But I am.
Now you're
Now
using
he's
physical
showing us with his hand what it looks like.
And it's all coming out of my
Okay.
peen. And
And just trace it so we know what size we're talking about.
well, I like to deflect it from a wall. No. And so
Oh, I got a story about that.
okay. So they because they have a spring in the handle, it makes a noise. So the first thing I'm alerted to is the noise of the handle, and I know we're the only two people in the house, and I've just walked down a long corridor, leaving her asleep on the couch. So I know that's either an intruder or something I can't explain. And so I turn around and I see the handle move.
Oh my god.
And then I feel the door. I see the door open, and I think it's her. And I'm thinking, wow, she was fast down that corridor. And why would she want to come in when I'm doing this?
Well,
So-
based on what we've just seen, it's very impressive.
So I gently push the door back and say, hey, I'm in here. And I feel a force behind the door. So something is pushing back. Not with much pressure, but definitely pressure. And I close the door, and then I go, hang on a minute. Investigate. So I quit. Because I want to see a ghost, because I kind of think it might be a ghost. So I open the door, and I jump into the corridor. I check the front door. It's locked. I check every room on the way up the corridor back to the lounge, and she goes, who are you talking to?
Wow. That's creepy, man.
No good.
That's my story.
Thank you, Neil.
Pleasure.
Kevin.
That ghost is called the Dick Glonser.
Kevin, do you hope you have a bathroom ghost when
Yes.
you get home?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
I'll
maybe.
never know because I don't ever close the door.
Kevin Kirkpatrick, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Oh, he's got to slide back out of that portal into his open bathroom door,
Look at
which
that
will remain
commitment to the
open
bit.
for the rest
That's a
of the
real
evening.
pro.
It's a hula hoop.
All right, great. Anybody else have a question for Bryce, me, Riley, or anybody about the show? Okay, great.
All right.
That sounds good. You want to
We've
hand
answered
out?
it all.
Does anybody want? We're going to hand out some posters.
Yeah, well, we've only
How are we
got
going to pick
2
posters?
posters.
You know what? Neil, you shared a story. Come get a poster, Neil.
Yeah. And Kurt, you come get a poster, too.
Come get a poster for sharing your story.
Yeah, I got 'em
listen,
for you.
guys.
We'll sign them.
We got
I
a
wanna-
big stack of stickers too,
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
So come get a BCC
come up and get
sticker.
stickers from us. Guys, this has been amazing. I want to thank Scott Michael Foster, Aaron Hayes, Kevin Kirkpatrick, Travel Channel, and, of course, the Bigfoot Lodge for hosting us. I'm Michael McMillan for Bryce Johnson, Riley Bray. Until next time, good night, and go get regret!
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Bigfoot Collectors Club is produced by Riley Bray. Our theme song is Come Alone by Suneaters, courtesy of Lotuspool Records. If you like the show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps get the podcast to more listeners. To support the show, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Bigfoot Collectors Club and unlock multiple reward episodes every month.